Hey there, and welcome back to another J-pop journal with me. It's been about a year since my last J-pop journal video. I apologize to those who enjoy these and were looking forward to the series. These will be coming out once or twice a month from now on, so I hope you'll enjoy them. Today's spread will be focusing on NiziU. NiziU are a 9-member Japanese female idol group under the Korean company JYP. So, although they're Japanese idols, the way they're marketed is more similar to K-pop idols. I do think their music is a good mix of Japanese and Korean idol music, kinda like getting the best of both worlds in a way, and that's largely what got me into them. Because they do mainly market themselves in Japan and all the members are Japanese and sing in Japanese far more often than in Korean, I feel comfortable putting them in the J-pop category for the sake of including them in my J-pop journal. This spread is going to be an introduction to the group as a whole, using the color scheme and photos from their first album release. I loved the baby sea green blue sort of color and pairing it with pink, so I started with that as my base for deciding what stationery supplies would be included in the spread, like this to-do list I'm adding to the left page. When it comes to the spread, I spend a lot of time putting stuff down and then taking it off to move it a bit or change things around, which I hate doing because the pics or the paper gets warped or wrinkled and then it just doesn't look as neat and smooth as I'd like it to by the time I've landed on something I like. I usually plan these spreads in advance to avoid that, but sometimes new ideas just kind of come to me in the moment and I run with them, but then I have to figure out how to make them work. It's fun and frustrating at the same time. You'll see another pretty big example of this later. I decided to try something a little different this time and display the album covers in a accordion pop-up sort of thing, which now that I think about it is actually something I've never done in any journal I have before. I figured it would save space and also be a cute and creative way to display them. While we're talking about the U album, I gotta say, the winter it came out, it was all I listened to while painting and doing holiday commissions at the time. There's a few tracks on there that are still sorta meh for me, but most of the songs grew on me over the course of a few weeks and still get stuck in my head from time to time. Like, I hated Chopstick the first time I heard it, and now it's one of my favorite songs on the album. NiziU definitely leads more towards fun, upbeat, and bubbly sort of vibes, and I really needed a girl group like that at the time as I was working through the grieving phase. Sometimes I just like fun, happy music that lifts my spirits and makes me happy, which I think stems from my history with J-pop and the fact that in Japan, idols are meant to bring happiness to people, and that's the core of what an idol is, regardless of your taste in music or style preferences. I could go on and on about this particular topic, but because it's not directly related to my J-pop journal or NiziU in particular, I'll leave it at that for now and get back to them. I love the styling for this album's promo pics and the color choices, how bright and fun it is. I think that although NiziU can definitely do cool and sexy sort of concepts too, they definitely shine brightest in happy and bubbly styles in my opinion, so I hope that they don't stray from that too much as they move through the years. There's so many groups on the market doing cool, sexy, badass concepts right now, and that's sort of boring at this point because it's just so oversaturated, so they felt like a breath of fresh air for me at the time. It also helped that most of the girls were older than 20. I can't relate to the teen groups anymore, so I've noticed that they don't tend to interest me as much. All of that said, if I had to choose a favorite song at the moment, it's definitely Super Summer. Actually, that song's been my favorite since the moment I first heard it. That song has no business being that much fun to listen to. With the warmer weather coming up, I'm praying to the JYP gods that they drop the ballad streak that they've had lately and give me another summer bop like that one. If you're also a fan of NiziU, feel free to let me know in the comments section which song is your favorite and what kind of song you'd like to see them do next. And speaking of favorites, when it comes to the members themselves, Nina and her great vocals immediately caught my eye from the start, and I thought she'd be my fave until the end because usually once I pick a favorite, I am loyal to that member for the rest of that group's existence. But then Rima decided to be way cooler than anyone has any right to be and absolutely own every frickin' performance with so much confidence that she practically kicked Nina right out of that favorite position, and I can't even feel bad about it. Like, don't get me wrong, I like all the girls, and at this point I think Nina and Rima kind of comfortably share that favorite title these days, but Rima really hit me like a frickin' freight train, and that was sort of unexpected for me. I guess that's what they call a bias wrecker in K-pop, but among J fans it's just, your favorite and your second favorite. We don't have fancy names for everything. When it comes to adding the members to the right side of the page, I knew from the start I'd be doing it in this like full page, perfectly spaced way, but this was a mistake. As you can see, I spent a lot of time making sure the girls were placed perfectly, and a few of them got all wrinkled and damaged in the process of even just moving their picture once, like I mentioned before, and this will be important in a minute. I finished placing them and started adding the washi tape for decoration. I've never used this washi tape set before, and the colors were such a perfectly great match. I was so excited to finally make use of them. It was at this moment, as I pulled out this thick washi tape and was placing it at the top and bottom of the left page, that I realized it would look very cute to put it under their pictures, either as like a border around the page or a full page of that washi pattern. I regretted having taped them down the way I did because I now could not remove them without damaging each and every picture in the process. It's one of those moments you wish you would have thought of something sooner, which also comes with a moment of having to accept what you've already done and just be satisfied with it. I made a literal note about my design idea so I can maybe make use of it in a different spread another time. I once again forgot that you can't see anything I'm doing from certain angles because my hands get in the way, so you're not going to see much of the washi tape decorating for the right side, which is the part of the spread I'm the least happy with anyway, given the much cuter idea I couldn't do and was disappointed about. To finish the spread off, I added their names to the side. I originally wanted to write them in a blue or pink pen, but I didn't have any that were either the right color or pigmented enough to use it for this, so I settled for the standard black. I also added the album info and butchered the kanji for year because my pen was too thick to write it that small successfully. I also drew out a little speech bubble as a cute way to display the group's name and gave it some color with a pink pen. Despite the mistake made and opportunity missed for a cuter right page, I really loved how this spread turned out as a whole, and I think it's one of the best I've done so far. Because the girls are wearing bits of yellow, they really pop out from all the blue and pink used for the main color palette of the spread, but the green in their outfits is still tying in with the greenier blue in the washi tape so they don't look entirely out of place. The black pen was ultimately the best choice, as it breaks up a lot of the pink and blue used, but also ties in with the bits of black in their outfits and some of their hair. All in all, it's a great spread in terms of color and composition. What part of this spread do you like best? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another J-Pop journal video very soon.